What's going on, guys? Seth and Chevy here. We just watched episode 7 of season 4 of Demon Slayer. Hopefully you guys had a chance to watch this, as we're going to be going full spoilers ahead, and we'll do a real quick recap. This was a pretty straightforward episode for the most part. Tanjiro has basically finished his boulder training with Mr. Himejima, I think his name is, and he is acknowledged by him as he basically sees him as the pure spirit that he is. He goes into his background of how he was once felt betrayed and doesn't trust people so well, but basically he was a teacher at an orphanage, and one night a demon traded one kid he was going to eat for the rest of the kids that were in the orphanage. Kids smothered out, I forgot what it was called.
Wisteria
incense. And basically sacrificed the rest of them. Demon went in there, killed 4 kids, and then when Mr. Himejima went to protect the kids, he's blind, it's revealed. It explains his eyes now. The kids didn't trust that he could protect them, so they ran for their lives. He ended up, Demon ended up killing the rest of the kids, except for one kid that Mr. Himejima ended up protecting. He wasn't aware of how strong he was as a peaceful dude that he is, and beat the shit out of the demon until the sun came up. Just beat the shit out of him all night. And yeah, of course, the sun hits the demon disappears. When the cop showed up, the little girl had said that Mr. Himejima killed all the kids, which is really fucked up. And he went to jail, but luckily, the head dude of the Demon Slayer Corps, I forgot his name. It's a long one. He's got a long name. I'll never remember. He's been around since the first season. He intervened because obviously they probably have their ways of finding out someone killed a demon, and saved him from prison and likely some kind of execution or something. So
probably.
Yeah, so he had a pretty messed up origin story when it came to how he became a demon slayer. But yeah, he basically tells Tanjiro that he has passed, and that he's a good dude, and they share a cry. And then Tanjiro also, when he moved the boulder, inspired Inosuke to move his boulder. And
he was quick on that.
Yeah, just because he saw him do it, he's like, wait. And he said tempura a bunch of times and moved a boulder. Zenitsu,
nice.
Exactly. I wish he had said that more often. For a second, I was like, is he calling Tanjiro that? Because he gets his name wrong all the time? Anyway, Zenitsu hasn't done it, but he got a note. Did we get the context of that note?
No.
So he got a note. Something's up with the note. And before Tanjiro leaves, he talks with Genya about he's the apprentice of Mr. Himejima, and the whole thing with him eating demons. And you said, who did you tell that to?
Well, the Demon Slayer Corps in general are aware of it. So.
Yeah, but
he was sent to, I can't remember her name. She's like the doctor.
Oh, yeah.
And she scolded him, basically.
Yeah. So they're talking, and they talk about how Zenitsu has been kind of weird for a while now. So he goes to check on him, bringing him food. Zenitsu's very calm, which is very unlike Zenitsu. Won't even face Tanjiro, and Tanjiro left food for him, but then we see that he's holding the note, and he says he has something he has to do. So that's ominous. Yeah, so Tanjiro ends up meeting up with I forgot his name as well, something Zawa. The wind Hashira and the water Hashira, and they're sparring in a very well animated fight scene. He reveals when they both break their kendo sticks that the wind Hashira likes red bean mochi, and that becomes a whole big thing. And the water dude is saying essentially that he didn't know that about him, and he's going to start bringing red bean mochi anytime he sees him, which is kind of funny. And yeah, did it go from there to the scene with the stairs?
Yes.
So yeah, then Wind Hashira, can't remember his name, something Gizawa, is walking down some stairs in the middle of the night, thinking about all the stuff that just happened, and he ends up feeling something, turns around, catches one of those spy eyes that have been all over town, And while taking a second to try and figure out what the hell he just grabbed, he recognizes instantly that that's not good. They've been infiltrated. And then we get a very, very long scene of Muzan just walking right in to the Demon Slayer core HQ.
The main base, yeah.
Yeah, he's found them, and it's nighttime, so he's walking right in, and he ends up walking straight up to the lead dude, who's just been laying down for a while now because he's seemingly kind of on his way out, and they share a greeting, basically. This being the first time they've met, and I believe, right?
That was implied, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, it's nice meeting you, basically. And Muzan says he, looks hideous because he's obviously not in his best shape. And yeah, that's where it left off.
Yep.
You told me this was a 40-minute episode before. I forgot. We watched it. It didn't feel like 40 minutes at all. But then by the end of the episode, the very long walking sequence, I was like, they're really playing this out. But also, it's kind of a big deal that he's finally located the HQ, so it kind of makes sense. I think that's everything. So, thoughts?
Getting the backstory on the Stone Hashira was nice.
Yeah.
It's also, as typical, with the exception of one of the Hashira so far, tragic. So the only one who didn't really have a tragic one was the Love Hashira. Hers was pretty more of just like teen adolescence and belonging issues versus like everyone else had like deaths in their families and stuff like that.
It's almost refreshing with her because all of them are just like terrible stories.
Yeah.
And hers was like, oh, okay, you didn't have like some traumatic thing that happened to you.
Well, and then even with the Stone guy, not even just the fact that all that happened, but then like he got blamed for it.
That was the worst part.
Was like, man, what a shitty story.
And he's blind.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Also, like, I imagine punching someone all night until the sun comes up.
Well, yeah, because he can't kill it without a blade, so.
It's just, imagine having that kind of stamina. Good Lord.
He had to just dismantle him until the sun came up and took him out.
Also, he just ripped his arms off, too. He's also mentioned at that point, he didn't realize his strength until that moment. So
we also got an explanation for his scar across the forehead, which I've been curious about ever since I saw him.
Yeah, he got cut by the demon when he tried to attack him, and then he grabbed both of his arms and ripped him right off, which was crazy.
Which was good, because that demon being able to cut his forehead so easily like that probably could have killed him if he didn't disarm literally him and take him out instantly.
Keep his head pudding for the whole night. Good Lord.
Unlike everybody else, like, he didn't use like a weapon or anything. He just beat the fuck out of him.
Yeah, though it made his character a lot more interesting anyways, because it kind of explains his, like, basically always being, like, constantly in touch with all of his emotions at one time, because he was kind of put in a traumatic situation, so... and then him just basically recognizing Tanjiro for being a pure person, and when Tanjiro tried to rebuke it, he was like, no, I know people, and... you're not those people. So.
Yeah, there's a small detail, too, before he told his backstory of him basically congratulating or honoring Tanjiro for choosing people over his sister in the situation. But Tanjiro, being Tanjiro, corrected it and was like, my sister made the decision. I froze up, which also speaks to his character of, not being dishonest and a liar and taking that honor for himself, basically.
And that reinforced that for the Stone. Yeah. Hashira, which was nice for Himejima. Going to Himejima is where my brain was going with that.
Or Himejima.
Yeah. But, that was fun. Also, nice to see, my brain just stopped. Inosuke push the boulder. Now we need Zenitsu to do it. But I have a feeling we're not going to see that because obviously he's getting a side quest, which I'm very curious about because it completely altered his mood.
I was almost waiting for him to get so stressed out he would do his whole fall asleep and then move the boulder thing or something, but it didn't happen. So
I feel like whatever was in that letter is going to be his catalyst for his bump up, obviously, because he's the only one who hasn't like taken that final step.
I'm just curious on what it could be.
Yeah, well, especially because it alters his mood so much. So
Well, and it's specifically for him. So it's like, what's up with that?
So I'm sure we won't find out until next season for that one, but hopefully we get a tidbit of it in the next episode.
Maybe next episode too, though.
Yeah,
Maybe for some reason it's intel about what was coming. I don't know. I don't know why he would know, but
yeah, that'd be a weird one. His bird also brought it to him, so
yeah. So it came from somebody somewhere.
Yeah. And then I'm curious about what's going to happen at the base at this point, because
It's gonna be a 60-minute all-out brawl.
I can't remember where exactly she was summoned, but the demon doctor was summoned to go, and I don't know if she's heading towards that place or if she's heading towards the doctor or what. But that'll be interesting to see. Like that, I don't know if it'll even get touched upon. He might just show up, have this conversation, and leave, and be the end of it. But the title of the next episode is vague, but also
Hashira Unite, or the hell it's called, yeah.
So, I don't know. All I can really do is speculate and wait for the next episode. But do I have anything else I really want to add? No, I don't think so. Overall, it was a fun time. They did a pretty crazy job of taking what, to my understanding, what was an incredibly short blip in the manga and making an arc out of it, which is kind of funny. Though they did a little bit of stretching with the walking at the end, but it wasn't terrible. I was just like, okay, it feels long. That's not a good thing. So
it got spoiled for me. I saw a GIF on X of Muzan walking, which I didn't recognize, and someone was like, "Did they really just make us watch Muzan walk for like 2-3 minutes or whatever?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" And I just kept scrolling, so I was like, "Well, I guess fucking Muzan's showing up."
Yeah,
which would make sense. The end of the season's coming, but watching it, the first half of it, I was like, that wasn't that fucking long. But then after the credits, it was more walking, but they had turned it into a music video too, because all the things were sequenced with the music and stuff. And I was like, whoa, they are really stretching this out. Yeah. But I get, you can make the excuse of like, it's a big deal that he's here, like, oh shit, Muzan's here. But at the same time too, I'm like, you guys really fucking...
Yeah, I just don't think they nailed the execution of that one.
Yeah,
because it did feel long, which is not a good thing.
They could have done something as impactful in a way that didn't just feel like really slowing down that walk in the same like 3 sequences that took really long time to do.
Yeah.
Like the side shot of him just walking slowly. And I appreciate all the effects on him, all the fog and stuff floating on him and the lighting it up and stuff to the music, stuff like that. Like they did a good job on the animation sequence of it, but like, it's just like the same thing constantly. So
yeah, but I mean, overall, this whole season's been kind of this way anyways, though. They don't really have a lot of meat to go off of, and they're doing a very impressive job. So,
and if next episode is crazy at all, it'll feel worth it. We haven't seen what this is leading to yet. So, after next episode, maybe we'll be like, oh, fuck, okay, that's why they really built it up. Maybe the next time you watch that season, you'll see that scene and go, oh, shit, here comes the big thing.
Wow, it's leading into, to my understanding, the end of the show.
Infinity Castle.
So,
from what I hear.
Yeah.
But I don't know, because I haven't read the manga, and neither of us have. No spoilers, please. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Nope.
It's a cool episode. I liked it. It is weird how it basically transitioned from the very training arc-y feel that the whole season has had to straight up just this Muzan scene, which felt very cinematic. The animation was high budget. It was a really abrupt transition. I did like the scene though with Shinizawa, the wind guy on the stairs. I like that, just instinctually he just boom grabbed that thing out of the air or whatever, but then like
he just like took a step and all of a sudden like the atmosphere changed.
Yeah, and he just grabbed it instantly. So like obviously he's high skilled, but he didn't know what the fuck he's looking at. And then after a while when it burned up, he's like, that ain't good. And like, set the stage for the rest of it. Yeah. So, but before that, we had some pretty typical training scene stuff that we've been having this whole season. Not complaining. do think it's interesting they took something so small and made it into a whole arc, but I actually haven't hated it. It's been fun. So, they've done a good job with it. Seeing Tanjiro move the boulder, the humor in the episode, a little lighter than the other ones, but we are kind of wrapping things up. But he moved the boulder. That was fun. The whole Himejima thing was insightful. I think we needed that. I've been wondering about this dude since the first season. Looking at all the Hashira, I always looked at him like, why is he so big? Why is he crying? Why is his eyes white? Why has he got the scar? We found out a bunch of stuff about him really quickly, but we did. His story's tragic, as most of theirs are. His is also messed up because of its betrayal of, or by a human child.
4-year-old, yeah.
Yeah, which has his perspective very honest in how he views people, because he's talking about how kids are basically like, selfish creatures and stuff like that. And I was like, yeah, you're not completely wrong. Not all kids would be like that, but in their nature, they don't know anything. Like, they're kids. So they do stuff like that. And he was a victim of that. So even when he tried to protect them, which he failed at, which the whole thing sucks. But I am really curious to see how he fights now, because all he does is like float around the woods behind trees watching people and crying. So, but they said he's like the strongest one, so we'll see. Also, he doesn't have a weapon. He's just all hands, so which is pretty crazy. So the rest of the episode was fun with Inosuke and Genya fighting each other for a second. Just because Inosuke, no filter,
no
just
tact.
like you can't do breathing techniques, you're a loser. Very on brand for Inosuke, but very blunt. The thing happening with Zenitsu has me worried, because it seems weird why he's so serious all of a sudden. He's not stressed out. He was covered in blood, so I don't know what the hell's going on there. The note, want to know where that's from and what it's about. And then, the scene with Wind and Water Hashira fighting, I thought was well done. It was cool to see Tanjiro being able to track their motion at this point, so it's showing progress. He's, the training has worked. He is not just seeing blips of them fighting, he's seeing the whole thing, and we got to see it in a cool slow motion segment that I really liked. And then the whole red bean mochi thing was funny as well. Add some lightness to the Wind Hashira, because he's not light. He's just an asshole who's angry all the time. And then the end sequence was long. It feels impactful though, which I guess is really what they're going for, and just makes me want to know what happens in the next episode. So it's a cool music video, but I just need to know what happens next. Is Mugen just gonna X that dude off and then everybody's gonna have to fight, or is he gonna have a trick up his sleeve? Because obviously he walked right to him for a specific reason. So definitely curious to see how this season ends. And 60-minute finale, there's going to be a fight scene in it for sure. So I can't wait to see that. But overall, a good episode that needs a conclusion. My favorite thing, though, was the Himejima background thing, because I like knowing the origin stories of all the Hashiras. So
it's also fun, too, for a show, I should say. The situation's not fun, but the show is always really good about being like super lighthearted, but then like the serious moments are like pretty dark and disturbing, actually. So
I forget that the show's capable of telling like bleak stories when you have all this humor and fun happening, and then the shit happens. You're like, oh, we're watching a scene where a bunch of children are getting killed.
Yeah. And
a blind guy's trying to protect them, and then he gets betrayed by one. Like that's it's kind of fucked up. So, Anything else?
Just waiting for the next episode at this point. Finale.
Yeah. All right. Well, let us know in the comments what you guys think of this episode. What were some of your favorite parts? What do you think about the backstory of Himejima? What do you think about the Muzen situation? What do you think about the walk? Did you love it? Did you not love it? And where do you think things are going? Unless you know, please don't tell us, because we've watched this whole show so far blind. No spoilers. We'd love to continue without them. So, and especially one episode left of the season. Can't wait to find out what happens there. Let us know everything you think about in the comments below. I've been Seth. This has been Chevy. Stay tuned. We got more reviews. We just did Kaiju number 8, which is also concluding soon. So if you're watching that, check out our review. Check out our next review. If you are planning on watching it, watch it. Watch our reviews. And we are watching Sandland right now as well. I think we're 4 out of 12 episodes. So
12, 13, I can't remember.
About a third through it.
Yep.
So we'll knock out the whole thing. We'll do a season review. So watch that whenever you feel like finding out what we think of it. I've been Seth, this has been Chevy, and we'll talk to you guys later.